What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, Hit the keys. Here today to do a quick demonstration over Gatelab 2 by Audio Modern. Shout out to Audio Modern. They are the sponsor of today's video, but don't worry, they have no control over anything that I'm going to say. They're not even going to see the video. So you guys see the video. This is also free for a limited time with any purchase over at Audio Modern. So when you open up Gatelab 2.0, it's going to look like this. As you see, it's got a refreshed GUI a little bit, few different controls here. We'll go over all this in a minute. This is a really good tool for gating. As you see here, you can do gating in stereo, so left and right, or you can do it in mono, which is cool. But this is a pretty good tool, you know what I'm saying, for using. So I'm sorry, I meant to go from mono to stereo, but you can go back and forth, and we'll go over all that here in just a moment. I made a little demo beat as always. I used Gatelab in a few different places because what's cool with this tool is you can chop up chords and make melodies and do all kinds of stuff with the gating. So, you know what I'm saying? This isn't all the way mixed down, but let's go. All right. That's a little sample beat that I got for you guys today. You don't have to tell me. I already am fully aware that I have no common sense. I just wasn't born with it. It is what it is. So let's go ahead and hop back over here into this Gatelab. So right here, I have Gatelab pulled up, an instance of Gatelab pulled up, and I have it on a few different instruments. So I guess first I'll show you what I used it for. I guess that maybe we'll do that first, and then we'll go through all the controls. So on this Gatelab, I used it in a few different places. So I used it on this piano when I wanted to switch up the piano, because the piano originally sounds like this. But I used it in this part right here of the beat, and in this part of the beat, I ended up using the gating tool, and in that gating tool, we ended up getting that same piano to sound like this. So that was like a little switch up for us. I also used it over here in this section for this second sound. So on this sound right here, without Gatelab on there, this sound sounds like this. But for how I used it in this beat, it sounds like this. So what I like about this and what Gatelab is that Gatelab, it kind of plays a role for like maybe a few different things that you can use it for. So obviously you can use the gating effect. You can control the volume of the gating effect, and you can kind of use it like a panning effect. Because right now how I'm using it, it's kind of like it's panning that synth back and forth from stereo from left to right. So that's another good feature for Gatelab that I like. And then I also used Gatelab right here for this sound. And this sound was like one of the foundational sounds of the beat. I just used it a lot throughout the beat. It was this sound right here. All right, and then once I threw Gatelab on here, I got it to sound like this. So, you know what I'm saying? That sounds pretty cool. Let's go ahead and change that last sound up. Well, now we'll leave it there for a little bit, and we'll come and find another sound here a little bit later. But we're going to use that sound with Gatelab. So as we're looking at Gatelab, when you start here with the plugin, you see up at the top, it syncs to the tempo in your DAW for you. So you see it does it for you automatically. You've got different presets here that you can go through. So you got a bunch of different presets here. You can download presets, you can save presets. You can go back. So like, let's say I make a move, blow, and I don't like that move. I can just go back and undo that. Over here, you have some options. I'm sorry, you see here, it has MIDI control here. So it has MIDI out, so you can use it with other stuff than just, you know what I'm saying, your computer. You've got your settings right here. So you've got a bunch of different controls here. And then you've got your info. When you come down here, you'll see you've got different controls. So you've got random, you've got remix, you've got instant, and you've got reset. And what this is the way that this is going to react once you hit this button. So this button right here is what generates the gate pattern. So I could hit this button, bam, it just gave me a new gate pattern. And there's got a complexity knob. So the less complexity, you can see the less complex it's going to be. And then as you see, as I turn the complexity up, it's just going to add more notes. So we'll just leave it here for a second. We'll hit this button again, bam, and it just made it a lot more complex. Then you have, we'll turn it down just a tad. Then you have this remix button right here. And when you hit this remix button, it's just going to remix kind of what you have. So it's going to leave some of these notes here for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's not totally changing everything for you. So once you hit this instant's just going to change it for while you hold this down. And then as soon as you let it up, it goes back. So blah, we'll go ahead and we'll hit it on random again. And we have a pattern. So now when we come down here, you'll see that there's two different modes on the sequencer. So you have this flow mode, and in this flow mode, you can control volume and everything. So you know what I'm saying? It adds volume. And then in this mode, it's just strictly gate. So it's just going to add a note. You can't make it get smaller or louder in the volume. You can't do any of that. We're going to tap this and hit random. Blow. So it's giving us a new pattern here. All right, so now we have stereo and mono. I showed you guys this earlier. So bam, you have mono, bam, you have stereo. You can link left and right if you want to. So if you link left and right, and then now you hit something, it's going to give you the same pattern for both. Next to that, you got your rate. So blow, you know, how fast you want the gate to go. You got steps too next to that. So blow, you can add more steps. You can take more steps away. We'll just leave it at 32 for now. You also have swing, so we can change the swing. We got smooth, so if you have it down here, it's a little more clicky. And then if you turn up smooth, obviously it's going to smoothen that out. Next to that, you have this wet control, so you can dial in how much of this gate effect that you want to use. Right here, you have a lock. So with lock, you can lock certain sounds like this. Let's go ahead and take the link off. But blah, you can lock certain sounds. And then when you lock those certain sounds, it allows for you, you lock these sounds into play. Blow, 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 blow. When I hit this to generate something, it's going to at least let me keep all my locked stuff. So that's pretty cool. And then you can hit this right here to take all the lock off. Another thing that's cool is this density control right here. So you can control the density of these. You can also control that by here. So you can make the gate on one sound a little bit different than the other sound. I'm sorry, what I meant was so you can kind of do like a little gate roll or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But you can change the density and then you can hit randomize, and bam, you see how it's changing the density on all these now. So it looks a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? We can reset that. You also have a filter right here. So that's pretty cool and all. We'll turn that back off for a second. And then over here, you have this infinity button. So if you turn infinity on, what's going to happen is that every time it goes through these 32 steps, it's going to change the pattern here. And what we can do is we can make it have as many steps we want to. So we can make it go around 4 times before it changes, but we're just going to let it go around 1 time real quick. You know what I'm saying? And then last but not least is this function over here. And with this function over here, what this does is that it takes away sounds or takes away gating patterns each time it goes around, or you can add. All right, I went ahead and changed the sound for this last little part. It sounds like this. All right, so let's go ahead and hit random real quick. Blow. So now we have this pattern right here going. All right, and so now if I leave this on, it's going to take away notes every time it goes around. So it looks like with this time, it's just disintegrating the pattern down on the gate. And on with this one, it's going to add it up for you. So it'll just disintegrate until it's all the way gone. So you know what I'm saying? It'll slowly add your sound back to the normal from the gate. So, I mean, that's basically this plugin in a nutshell. Actually, there's one more thing. You can save your presets down here. So you can save whatever you're working on, then you can randomize this. And like, let's say you have these 3 different patterns. Now you can go back and forth between these 3 different patterns, and you can save your pattern up here. So that's what I got for you guys on Gatelab 2. What are my thoughts? Obviously, it's a really good gating effect. It's really good for, I didn't show y'all one more thing I used it for. See, I'm glad I waited a couple minutes, but I used it here too. So I put it on these drums, and you can do some kind of cool stuff with these drums. So the drums sound like this initially. Sorry, I used it on this drum loop. So this drum loop sounds like this initially. But you can add a little break part where you change up the drums with Gatelab too. And now it's like, I thought that was dope too. I meant to show you that. I'm glad I remember that because I thought that was cool too. Like you could use it to chop up different drum loops to get different fills and stuff like that. So again, my overall thoughts, great tool for gating, good tool for panning, good tool for, you know what I'm saying, with the volume and, you know what I'm saying, the gating too as well. I'd recommend it. Again, it is free with any purchase at Audio Modern during their Black Friday sale. So make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. I appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Some hit the key.